Today we are going to an antique store and a Goodwill in Sandusky, Ohio. I thought I would also share a lot of our outside renovations.
I just go fast, okay.
Hey friends, I know I don't show you this side of the property too much. This is the west side by our bedroom. Here's our ugly air conditioner sticking out of the window. As you see, we still have not did anything to the front of the house except for adding trim on the door, the beautiful lights. We painted the door, trim all around the door. Anyway, still a lot to do in the front. But getting back to the landscaping, this is the other side of the house. It's getting quite overgrown. Any of my friends live in Ohio. It has been extremely hot. Our roses never got clipped down last year, so they need a good pruning, I guess in the fall. Here's some of our hydrangeas. It is a Sunday morning. I'm usually at church, but my pink eye is kind of bad. The medicine isn't helping too much. So our yard needed watering terribly. So I decided to just get out here and do that. As you can see, our mulch is still here. We did get it late in the season, but we still have not got it done. We pulled some weeds and then got very busy. The bags are really heavy, but I now need to weed again because all the weeds have grown back up again. It has been so hot. My husband has been working on that carriage house in the heat. It has been sweltering. It is making my asthma and allergies act up. So unfortunately, he's been doing a lot of the mowing. Last time I mowed, I broke out in hives everywhere. We still need to get this deck together. This will be a project I'm not sure when. It even has its own lovely wild grapevines growing, and I still have to get the hose put in the container. And there's the front of the house that still all needs done. And there are the really old corbels way up there. They sided over the old wood. And then they added this random piece on the side. I'm sorry if you could hear the train in the background. We actually have a train behind us. And now I hear one on the north side of the property coming as well. But here's the side that we finished. This is where the dining room and bathroom area are. Let me back up for you guys. There. So that is where the bathroom and the dining room and the far right window goes to the basement. This ugly eyesore is actually the venting to our yodel. We had to add another huge piece on top and enclose it. It's so windy on the west side of the property that it kept blowing right into the yodel and blowing it out and making such a disaster. Our yodel is, we use propane for our yodel. Speaking of propane, there is our propane tank. I originally wanted it on the opposite side of the shed. Of course, we did not have the shed when we moved here. If you guys have not seen that, I'll link the video where we redid the shed that we bought used. So if you can't afford a new one, that's a great option. So anyway, I really wanted this farther down on the property, but my husband did not want to pay more. We're actually going to landscape around this. This is where it goes into the house, near the basement, and then we ran it sideways or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, that's what's going on there. And this is the side of our carriage house. We did this about 2 years ago, and then the other side and the barn we did last year. This year we're working on the carriage house. And these lovely rows of Sharons were transplanted from our front yard. But I'll show you guys a thing I really like about this area. Look at this huge stone back here. It's funny, you know how husbands are. I really wanted to kind of showcase this. And it does look lovely from this side of the property, but with all our landscaping growing, you can't see it from the other side, just this little corner. But it does look lovely. So there's my hummingbird feeder that we got hung up. We'll have to move it when we get the wood onto the carriage house. Anyway, friends, disregard all those weeds. Yeah, he's got these rocks coming down that look really pretty. This was my husband's area. He did a good job landscaping it. And our poor arborvitaes, there's something called bag bugs that are going around. They are atrocious. We're trying to handle that situation. So that's kind of overview of the side of the house. And our cute little green barn still looks amazing. We still have to tweak the landscaping. This bush is called Raspberry Sunday. It's supposed to get little sweet purple flowers. I see where there are some that may be popping up at some point. But last year, I bought these 3 big, large planters. And this is the state of the other 2 Raspberry Sunday plants. They are both dead. So that did not work out. And it's funny, I saw my husband had weed eated, and we've had this planter. I need to scrub it off. Let me give you a close-up. It was never really my favorite. It's funny though, this hydrangea is not planted yet. It's still in its pot. But I think he just popped it in to get it out of the way. It was in front of the barn. Now I love the planter. Anyway, pretty funny. And all our raspberry and blackberry bushes are getting kind of out of control. You can't even see the difference between one bed to the other. There are 2. Look at all these. And this is the state of the other side of the yard. As you can see, the colonial has not been done yet. The very front of the house still looks original when we bought it, other than the steel siding they put on. There is an old shutter in the attic. Although we can't access it, we have to go through the ceiling in my office to access that, even though that's on the other side. There's all the wires for the electrical running to the house. At some point, we'd like to get those underground. He has ran some drainage. This is the glass block window that he installed with the dryer vent that comes up this side. So unfortunately, we did plant this little plant right over there, that one that looks like sticks, but it didn't make it. Too hot right here. And you guys have seen my side porch many times in the videos. You can see we took off the siding. With the metal siding removed, this is what it looks like. And this is where all the water drips right into the basement. There is nothing underneath these floorboards. It drains right in. And I think that's why they installed this board over top on this side. See the spaces? Because the water drains right in the basement. There's always so much to do when you own a historic home. A lot of times plumbing, electrical, heating. We've did all of that. Windows, doors, everything seems to need replaced. When we did the man door back here on our carriage house, we actually added this transom. And we did add this trim around here a few years ago, but we are going to be taking it off and adding real trim around that door and window and also around the garage door. Here is kind of a close-up of the top of the carriage house. He is almost done, and I will get you footage when he takes off these unsightly satellite dishes. We have one on each end. Excuse the traffic. It's hard to film when you live on a main road, even if you are in the country. I just wanted to get a little closer for you guys so you can see all the detail. The corbels going all the way up. We have to rewash this roof. It is all filthy from all the cutting. Well, friends, we're finally to the front of our 1840s home. As you can see, all the greenery. Unfortunately, those of you that know landscaping know that these are just weeds, but I kind of think they're pretty. My husband doesn't. They have little purple flowers on them. They are growing across the stairs. This is one of my favorite parts of the home. I wish we could keep the brick and the stair area somehow. It is separated away from the porch, as you can see here. And the weeds and the moss are growing all over the porch. There's a huge crack, several cracks growing, so it's pushing against the foundation. As you can see, the moss is growing everywhere, and there's so much moisture from this porch that the trim that he had stained originally and painted, it's only been not even 3 years. All the stain has came off, the paint is starting to peel. So we have a lot of work to do in this area. The front door still needs repainted. It's already fading. And don't look at the artwork I have leaning against the front door. So anyway, always so many things to do when you have a historic home. We still have quite a bit left. Yes, and even the handle. Look at that. It was shiny when we installed it. So the wind and the weather are really wreaking havoc on our 1840s home. If you're wanting electrical in your old home, it's great to do it before you start doing all the siding. So when my husband was running all the electrical, I had him put 2 outlets on our porch. And naturally, I put little Christmas trees in them. We added these beautiful lights, and they actually still look pretty good. And another AC in the window. Well, friends, I just had to show you this. This is by the street we planted these. It was in a video a little ways back, but I just wanted to show you how lovely it is. It is doing so well. Look at all the beautiful rocks we put there. I had picked out like the beautiful rose color flowers and the white and the purple. And my husband picked out, I kind of like the bright yellow because it has a little bit of orange. There. Isn't that pretty? And then my husband had to throw in some of those black-eyed Susans. Anyway, this island turned out really great. I'm really surprised how well everything went together. I was not planning on having him put the purple and yellow flowers within here. I guess it's a little beyond my color scheme palette, but they look lovely together. It is so pretty, and I am not quite sure what this flower is supposed to be. It does not look like There's a close-up. It does not look like any of the others. Then there's our clematis slowly making its way up again. We don't seem to have too much luck with those. Anyway, couldn't wait to share it. I think these are definitely my favorite. And inside our home, as you see, I always have some laundry going, and I just picked some berries, so we're washing those off and we'll take care of those. So I know you guys have all been waiting patiently. Let's get into this thrift haul. Hello friends, I'm so happy to finally get to this thrift haul for you guys. But before I do the encore, I wanted to say a couple things about that lovely shop. It is so beautiful. They have so many curated areas. Their vignettes are lovely. So if you live near the Ohio Sandusky area, it's definitely worth the trip. And another shout out to MJM in Ashland, Ohio. They are lovely as well. They are my two favorite antique stores around the area. So if you're out and about near Ashland or Sandusky, head in there and tell them Catherine from Our Timber Home sent you. So while I was going through the hallway, I found a couple of things. I totally forgot I showed you part of that thrift haul, but there were two things that I forgot to show you that I thrifted. One of them, let me find the tag. This is from Opal House. I don't know much about Opal House. I just hear it's pricey and good quality. So with the little pom-poms, I basically thought this lovely long blanket, you're probably wondering that I didn't get it that day, but I really did. It was half off. I think this was $1.50. It was regular $2.99, I believe, for $1.50. So I thought this lovely throw with the pom-poms on all four sides. I thought this would look beautiful in the grandkids' room. They remind me of snowballs, right? I thought this would be so cute in the grandkids' room for Christmas. And the other thing I got, you know I have a problem with my pillows. Well, this was from, let me turn it around for you guys. Pier 1, which of course you know they're not in business anymore. I like that store. That's actually where my bed came from in my bedroom, if anybody wanted to know. Pier 1, I wanted it. It was about $400, which was really cheap back then, but it was so solid. I just fell in love with the iron look. I'll insert a clip of it for you guys. And I just loved it. So for my birthday and Christmases for about a year and a half, maybe even 2, I told everybody in the family and extended family, you know, whoever had been giving gifts, that I would prefer money or gift cards to save for that bed. So that bed basically cost us about $20 to buy the bed frame, and all the rest was gift cards. So if there's something you really want from a certain store, or maybe ask for cash or visas and just save up for it. So I feel like I've gotten a free bed. But anyway, getting back to the pillow, it is just the softest green. It is not down-filled, but it is firm, so the quality is there. So I can't resist my velvet pillows. I thought I had another thing, maybe it's under my stack here, so if I find it, I'll show it to you. Let's throw that over there. Of course, all these things have already been washed. I even leave them outside in a garbage bag for several days. So, but my view in the background, I can see some of the butterflies flying, and I have some lovely footage for you guys of our street. We have an address sign and florals down, and they've been growing so lovely. My husband and I just redid that whole area. He restained the address pole, repainted the little plaque, repainted the numbers to our home, repainted the bracket, I believe, as well. Anyway, it looks so lovely. So anyway, if you can see in the back, all the little butterflies, I had to run out there, get some footage. So I got you some more current footage. I took my footage about 2 weeks ago, my address sign, and there was one huge flower that I wasn't really positive if it was a flower or a weed. But now that I see it blooming, it is actually just like the other flowers, only it's twice the height of the other one. In the background, you can enjoy all the lovely butterflies that are all over that butterfly bush. So now we will go on to the Encore store. I went with my granddaughter Abby, so it was a little hard for me to, it wasn't hard for me to film, but it was hard for me to focus and look to see what I wanted. I got her several pieces of clothing. She found a couple vintage bracelets, so those are at her house. I never got any footage, but here's one of her shirts that she really liked. All their clothing, I think it was Wednesday, was 20% off, whichever day that was. You'll see it in the beginning of the video, but I believe it was Wednesdays. Anyway, so she would like this cute shirt. I wore it once and then I'm giving it back to her. And before I forget, you will probably remember seeing this. This was $7, but 20% off. I love the gathered cuffs around the wrist, and there's no little tie, which is kind of nice. Usually they dangle or you have to tie them, or sometimes possibly you cut them off, but this is just, there, I can't lift my shirt up. This is just the most lovely shade of green. So I'm so happy that I found this shirt there. Little puff sleeves, so super cute. It's random for me to find clothing, but I found several things there. And then I found this. It's a Calvin Klein soft purple hoodie. I really prefer zippers, so this feels a little tight there. It bothers me, things by my neck. So anyway, I don't know if any of you guys are like that. If you are, leave it in the comments. I don't know why. I'm not choking, obviously, but it just feels awkward having it right there. I think this was $5.99. Did I bring my receipt down? I did, but now I can't find anything. Well, I did show the prices in the beginning. I apologize. My receipt seems to have disappeared. Anyway, very thick, just something comfortable to wear. It's usually pretty cold in our 1840s home. And while I was looking for the receipt, this was the other little thing from a yard sale. I paid 50 cents. Please forgive me if I showed this in the last one. I don't remember showing it, but it's brass. It doesn't say where it's made. So this was at a little tiny garage sale in Shiloh, Ohio. I just thought that was so adorable. Put a little candle in there. There. So there's one of my missing things. Just can't seem to find that receipt. Anyway, like I said, Abby got several things, a couple of bracelets, some clothing, and then we went to the Goodwill. I found a couple of things. I'm not really a fan of the front, although a lot of you may like this. I like the tassel, so I'm wondering if I might take that off. I don't know. But anyway, I prefer, there we go. It's definitely very filled. So I do like this side a little better. It's a little more simple. The colors were really pretty. It's obviously not tapestry, but I just thought the colors were kind of nice. So anyway, that's what I got there. And of course I took the price tag off, and now my receipts are nowhere to be found. I have just been doing so much thrifting and everything that it's getting hard to keep up of what came from where and when and the order. So I'm pretty much caught up with you guys once I go through this. I have a little bit more, but I have some surprise videos coming up. A beautiful company on Cody, I'm not quite sure how you say it, but they're sending me a lovely William Morris type rug and a beautiful 100% cotton comforter for my bed. So that will be coming in the mail soon, so I will be doing a video on that. Stupid country flies going all over my tea. Anyway, while we were there, you probably remember Abby playing with us. Music box, and it's funny, she obviously doesn't know the song very well because she kept jumping ahead of time and wincing and did not realize when it was going to happen. But this was $1.99. I'm going to have to Google it to get a date. I'll Google it for you guys and see if I can put a date on the screen. I got to clean it up. It's just slightly dirty, but my little granddaughter really loved this. So let's see how this works. Yeah, and you have to do like one more little rotation. Otherwise this thing won't snap back. So I don't know if people thought it was broken and that's why they only had that much on it. Let me put them back in. There, yeah. Yeah, so unless you go a little past that rotation, then the little lock won't lock. So I think they thought it was broken. So anyway, now I can wash this and give this to Emma to play with. Yes, and these couple of things were the Goodwill in Sandusky. And I found, where did it go? One more thing from Encore. I forgot to show you, sorry. I kind of had these in order, but I seem to be doing them out of order. But this was a pillow cover. This was $3. Whoops, sorry about that. This was $3. And I'll probably take the little pink ribbons off. But look how pretty that is. It does have a couple little defects, a couple little holes, really tiny. So I need to find a pillow that will fit this. And it just folds like that. Yeah, so I thought $3 was really pretty. Look at the front. All that lovely detail, the lace on the end. So that was from that Encore shop in Sandusky. When I went the following week, I'd actually forgot to get some footage from Encore in Sandusky that I really had wanted to get. So I went back again. And while I was there, I found one more thing, which I'll show you. I'll just do that right now. Oops. Phew. Drinking my hot tea with stevia and peppermint oil. I do that every day. Let's move this out of the way. We don't need that over there. Make that look nice so you can see outside. So while we were there getting some vertical footage and some stuff for the thumbnail, I found this. And that'll be in one of my little vertical shorts. You'll see it. This was $5. I believe it is a table runner. It's probably not vintage, but I don't know if you can see how long this is. I have it with tassels. Yay. So it's got the lovely tassels on the end. But I just love the muted colors. So this will probably go on my dining room table. So yeah, it's bigger than I thought because I almost debated my coffee table in the living room. But yeah, this is much larger. So this will be very pretty. I'll give you another close up. Look at all the texture. I mean, it's made to look vintage even though it is not. Let's see, it has a tag. Made in India. Oh, that's kind of nice. Cotton and polyester. I still have to wash this. I did have it out on the porch. Yes, so the quality is very lovely. The colors are perfect. Can't wait to use this. Just need to give it a quick wash. I was just glancing in the background to see if the butterflies are still jumping around. I don't see them at the moment. I have two drinks here. I have lemonade and hot tea. I had to turn the air conditioner off, so it's starting to get a little stuffy in here. So while we were out going to Encore again to get more footage, I went with my daughter and little Emma. We ran into Encore. I found that lovely runner, and we went to Hobby Lobby, and their florals were 40% off again. So this was $9.99. These are my favorite hydrangeas. I have, I don't know how many, but every year I try to get a few more while they're 40% off, so that made them $6. Hopefully I said 40, not 60. 40% off. So I bought two. There. I like these because they're the softest white. I like the leaves on there, that they kind of come up. Then it gives a lot more movement to your florals, a lot more naturalness, I feel. They are very long stemmed. Not that I need them that long. I mean, it'd be nice sometimes if they're a little shorter, but I usually bend them. I hardly ever cut my flowers. So these are going to go on that lovely crate that I used to keep on my dining room table with the white florals. Right now it's parked on that antique cedar hope chest in the living room because we don't have anywhere to put it yet. And there's only white flowers in it. So I'm going to pop these in there to make that a little fuller. Let's see, was that everything? Hey friends, I forgot one more thing. Guess what this goes to? I guess you're going to have to wait. get this lovely little skeleton key? Can you guess? Leave it in the comments if you think you know what piece of furniture. Well, friends, I believe that was everything. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and going to all these stores. I had so much fun. I hope you enjoyed that little outdoor tour of the outside of our 1840s home. Please leave me some sweet comments, like this video, and please consider subscribing. It really does help my little channel. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Have a very blessed week.